Hello there, and welcome to this very special stream here on the Den of Nerds. The Fandom Menace has attacked! Dun dun dun. And we are indeed responding. This actually all has to do with John Talks, very popular channel for the Fandom Menace. Did a live stream last night talking about a lot of different things about the Grey Order, some criticisms, different things like that. And so I wanted to respond. Now, full disclosure, I had actually planned on doing this as a video, but then it's literally ridiculous. Like, it's so hard to do when you're scrubbing through someone else's video, and honestly, it's like crazy. It's like, kudos to John who did that with all of my stuff, and that stream ended up being like 3 hours. I don't really have 3 hours to go through all of his stuff or whatever. However, I will say that there was some fair criticism there, and I think that it's worth having a conversation. Now, a couple of things right off the top. Number one, this is not your regularly scheduled programming here at the Den of Nerds. Much prefer to just be talking about cool stuff, talking about cool, nerdy things. But given the conversation, given the context of where we're at, what's going on, this is, I think, important. This is an important step to talk about and to sort of get things clarified. Number two, I'm in no way trying to attack the Fandom Menace. And I know that it might seem as though I am, but I think that we will literally be able to get to the bottom of this. That is not my intention. And so a lot of people are viewing the Grey Order as oppositional to the Fandom Menace, as I said in the launch video, and as I continue to say. That's not the way I view it. But I do think there's some definite differences of opinion going on that are maybe not being expressed in the very best way. And so this is what we're going to do. We're going to sort of go over some of the things that John said, and I'm going to respond to them. You know what I mean? Because this is a conversation. By the way, guys, to everybody that's like, I saw some people on Twitter like panicking. They were like, holy cow, people in the Fandom Menace are talking crap right now about the Grey Order and all that. Guys, that is par for the course. That is exactly what we thought was going to happen. That's what's called earned media. And honestly, I appreciate John, and I think it's almost gratifying in a lot of ways that he even took notice of that and talked about it and did stuff on his social media with it. Right. So it's a bit of a complicated situation, and what I've been thinking a lot about lately is I think that right now as a fan base and just what's going on, we all need to kind of get in the living room as a family and just talk it all out. Like, whether like sister hit brother, brother hit sister, mom freaked out on son, dad freaked out on mom, whatever it is, whatever the situation is, we need to get in to the living room, sit everybody down, and have these conversations. By the way, a very happy birthday to executive producer Al Schuler in the chat. What's up, Al Schuler? And happy birthday to my good friend, supporter of the channel, Al Schuler. I hope you're having a good birthday, brother. But when it comes to this situation, I personally view the next phase of this as some kind of uncomfortable situations. This isn't exactly what I want to be talking about. I don't think it's what a lot of other people want to be talking about in general, but I do think if we want to move forward, if we really do want to heal, if that is really the mission, it will require some sort of difficult situations, difficult conversations, and things like that. So that's what I think is going to happen. That's what I think is going to help. Now, I want to try to play some of what John was talking about in his video, but like I said, like I don't know, man. Maybe I just don't have the skill set. But this is wild. Like trying to like scrub through and everything. And by the way, just real quick, I want to just say this. This right here is a dream of mine. Responding to a response video of one of my videos, Mama, we made it. This is big time. So here we go. I want to let's listen to what John has to say here, and sort of his what I would consider maybe first criticism levied against the Grey Order. I think it's pretty interesting, and then we will talk about it. So here we go. Hopefully the volume here.
YouTube. I'm doing this full time. All right. So this is a passion, but it's also my job. Okay. But I'm going to be upfront with you. I do make money doing this. Okay. That happens. As you can see here, I'm getting super chats. But this is, I'm being upfront about. I'm not trying to cloak this idea that I'm just trying. I want to bring the fandom together. I want to be the Gandhi or the Pope of the fan. I'm not trying to be somebody that I'm not. Okay, I'm not trying to do some great and beautiful thing. I'm here to tell you how I think about things, how I feel about things, and that's just going to be it. That is going to be what this channel essentially is. But I'm not going to cloak, you know, say that I want to, I'm trying to do this thing when ultimately it's going to benefit me. I'm not going to come out there, and say that, which I think when it comes to, this Den of Nerds thing, well, look who will benefit from the Gray Order. Is it really coming out of this place of wanting, to bring the fandom together and all this crap? I question it. I really do, because if you're going to be disingenuous, even with your YouTube title, and you've admitted that you've been disingenuous with your YouTube content, then and your YouTube channel is suffering, I think, because of that, then I do question the motives behind this.
Okay, so I'll stop there. So first of all, let me know in chat. Did that sound okay? How was the levels? Justin, are you checking it out? How's the levels on that? Okay, cool. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit, because I think there's some fair in there and I think there's some unfair in there. Okay, now here's the thing: the idea that the Gray Order is perhaps not benevolent, or maybe that basically it's disingenuous, that like I will gain greatly from it if it succeeds. The Den of Nerds will gain greatly from it if we succeed. Let me know. Is the audio good? Let me know. Is it good or not? But yeah, so that whole idea is absurd, and let me explain why. The bottom line, guys, is that I make way more money from Marvel videos. Not only just in general, when you look at the CPMs of the Marvel videos versus the Star Wars videos, but when you look at the way, like if you talk about certain things in Star Wars, your CPM goes way, way down. Now, for people that don't know what a CPM is, what that is how much money per 1,000 views we make on a video, okay? And so, like, I'll give you an example. I think it's actually a really important example. The day after San Diego Comic-Con, the announcement of Phase 4 from Marvel, I did a video, and the first video I did actually that week was about the potential worries of wokeness in Phase 4, okay? And that video I think it did pretty well. It did like 30,000 views or something like that, right? Now, the next day, I did a video talking about Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, just how hyped I am for it, just excited for it. You could call it shilling. I'm just shilling for Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Now, here's what's interesting. The video on Monday that I did about the wokeness, which, by the way, like I thought that was honestly an important video to make. I know some people were bothered by it, but I think it's an important video. That video made like $50, okay? The video on Tuesday made over $200, and it had 10,000 less views. It had more than double the value of a CPM. And when I sit back as a business owner and I have producers and I have people that I talk to about these sort of things, we did a risk assessment of the Gray Order. In fact, we're still doing it. There's a great dude named The Godfather. Maybe he'll pop in here. The Godfather, who is one of our executive producers, very business-minded individual. He and I have been having this discussion. What is the risk reward of the Gray Order? And we're all of the mind that it's really freaking risky. Even having streams like this, even having conversations like we'll have on Saturday and different things like that, it is ultimately very risky for the brand. Not to mention that if I just wanted to lean into the algorithm, if I just wanted to make more money on YouTube, I would completely do Marvel content. I would just stick to Marvel content. That would be what I do, which is kind of where some of my criticisms come from the Fandom Menace. Now, when it comes to the benefits of the Gray Order and the way that the channel could benefit. I mean, obviously, if it's very successful, it would benefit us more in the branding sense. And so the potential reward is high, right? Like, I can't deny that. The potential reward is high if it were to succeed. And there's an aspect of it that's called earned media. Or have you ever heard this phrase before? It's a really weird business phrase. It's called mind share. Do you know what mind share is? This is an interesting concept, where a company like Mixer is doing all of these big moves right now, and it's not necessarily affecting their bottom line, but they think they are getting something called mind share. And that is good enough for them moving forward in the space and what they hope to accomplish. And so there's some arguments you could make that, like, what we're doing with the Gray Order could potentially gain some mind share for the Den. If it succeeds, it would be big for the Den. But to say that it is being done solely to benefit me just ignores basic facts. It's super risky. Not everybody, even at the Den of Nerds, is down with it. There's probably people within the Den of Nerds that are like, dude, why are you doing this? Just keep talking about Marvel. I want nothing to do with this. You're dragging us into this big crazy arena here. I want nothing to do with this. That is why I think it's unfair for John and for people to say that it is solely being done to the benefit of the channel. That's just not true. Now, let me talk to you about something, though, that is fair and honestly one of the biggest screw-ups. Are you guys ready to hear literally one of the biggest screw-ups that I have ever done as a content creator? This screw-up was so crazy that I had to literally sit back and be like, what was going on in my brain, dude? I don't know if I was just so exhausted or had so much on my plate that literally this is like a colossal screw up. So check this out. We did some Gray Order merchandise, okay? And we have a logo. It's the logo on the thumbnail of this with their Fandom Menace. That's the Gray Order logo. Somehow, I took the wrong logo and put the wrong logo on our official merch. Like, I literally put like Disney stuff on our clothes. And I'm like, what? So, okay, so here's what I did. So I killed all the merch. You'll notice there's no more merch for the Gray Order on the website or on the Teespring store or on our thing here on the channel. And at first I was like, okay, so maybe I'll just throw the merch back up there. We'll put the real logo on there and we'll throw the merch back up there. But I heard some of the criticism about the merch sales, and I think there is some truth to those, I guess, accusations. There is a bit of that doesn't feel right. You know what I mean? As far as the pushing the merch. Now, here's something else that's really interesting that happened. We got hit up by like a ton of people that want to help us out and want to make merch, okay? And what I thought about was, okay, so what if we use this as an opportunity? What if we get one of these people that wants to do the merchandise with us, and we sacrifice a big bit of our profit margin. They sacrifice whatever bit of profit margin they're comfortable with, and then we do the shirts for charity. And so that's kind of where my head is at now, because like I can admit that, yeah, that doesn't necessarily feel right. It's like, hey, let's put the fan base back together again. By the way, $24.99 MSRP. Here you go. Here's your support. Whatever. I get that argument. The truth is, fans, we've been working on this for a while behind the scenes. Many of the people that supported the Gray Order before the Gray Order even became a thing, they want the merch. Like, people want the merchandise. Do you know what I mean? So really, I want to still be able to give the people what they want. And I do want to have like integrity with the way that we use the energy and the momentum that we have going forward. And so I've closed off the merchandise sales. And I think what I'll do is work with one of these companies and try to get something set up for charity, because I think that would be really cool. So that's sort of like my first kind of rebuttal about John's criticism. Okay. Now, I think, you know, look, I could try to get in there and like go through all of the things that he's saying. And honestly, like, to give him a fair shake, you should probably just go watch the stream. Like I said, it's 3 hours. I don't really have 3 hours. I tried to like get through it, comb through some of it. But that's, yeah, I'm not necessarily going to go through all of it. Now here's the thing. One of the big things that he criticized me for, and I guess I could try to find it. Oh, is John in here? That's awesome. So, dude, is everybody in here? Holy cow, did we open up a can of worms? What's up, internet? Grobnob the Troll is an amazing troll, by the way. I really like that guy. He epitomizes the trolling. It's awesome. So, let's talk about the other criticism that John levied against me that, to be fair, I think that he does have a point. This would be about the call to action that I gave yesterday on, was it yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday, right? Yeah, on the Gray Order stream. Now, this call to action is weird. And truly, it's not, I definitely didn't explain it the best way. I can't even promise you that I'll explain it the best way today. But what I can promise you is that I mean what I say. That if we could somehow shift what was going on social media, that would be a big, big difference. And moving forward, I think that would be very good. That would be good for the Star Wars fandom. I think it would be good for everybody. And I've seen people hit me up and say, does this, maybe this means I should stop throwing so many stones at the Fandom Menace, and maybe that's true. Maybe that's what it means. Now, when I said I think there needs to be a presence online that is not gratifying this mudslinging contest that I think we've all kind of gotten into, I mean that. But I don't know exactly what that looks like. And for instance, there were people that were hitting me up on, get Doomcock in here. Why not? But if there was people hitting me up on Twitter yesterday saying, look, John Talks did this thing. We need gray order people in his comment section. We need gray order people like blowing up his chat and all this stuff. That's not what I meant. Like that. Like I'm willing to admit it's not the most concrete idea. It's certainly not something that I'm maybe even explaining that well right now. But it is not about going to these places where these people are at and trying to disrupt what is going on there. That's not what I'm saying. More so, what I think needs to happen is a diffusing of the tension and the aggression that is happening out there online. So that's what I mean. That's what I stand for, and that's what I think. So the idea is not to be aggressive. The idea is to try to diffuse a lot of the tension and the confusion and things that are going on out there, okay? And lastly, let's talk about this stream. Let's talk about this stream on Saturday. Look, everybody's in here. Everybody's riled up. I think it's going to be pretty exciting on Saturday. You know what I mean? I think it's going to be pretty electric. But let me be very real about a couple of things. I have no intention to come onto that stream and try to win that stream. I have no intention to try to hold Jeremy accountable. I know this is something that's maybe confusing if you look at what I said in the stream yesterday. Do I personally think that the Fandom Menace and that Jeremy and that certain other people that are here should be held accountable? I don't think that I'm not the person that gets to decide that. But I am of the opinion that if we all don't take responsibility for some of the things that we have done in this fan war, we truly cannot move forward. And so Jeremy says that he's got receipts. Jeremy claims to know and feel very strongly that there is an identity politics narrative coming from Disney, and that is sort of the crux of his conflict with the Disney Star Wars, okay? And when I hear Jeremy speak, I do think that he means it. It seems to be coming from an authentic place. And when I say I want to pin Jeremy down, you know what I mean? Definitely not the best way to phrase that, right? Of course. And I think Jeremy, by the way, would be the first to admit that his YouTube self and his Twitter self, which is the way that Ryan described it to me on the phone last night, it isn't necessarily an accurate depiction of where he stands on everything or who he is as a person. And I can appreciate that. I'm not saying that I didn't mean what I meant when I said I wanted to pin him down, but it definitely wasn't the best way to say it. So let me explain what I really mean by that. And maybe this will tee it off and get everybody really freaking excited for what's going on Saturday. It should be electric, by the way. What I mean is I think the people that Jeremy has argued with in the past make two fatal mistakes. Number one, I think that they don't see any truth in what he's saying whatsoever, and therefore they sort of close off the possibility that there's any authenticity there. They just close it off and kind of think that he's crazy. Number two, I think, and sorry, this is just how I feel, I think many people get so butthurt by what he's saying, or maybe the way he's saying it, that they leave logic behind. They leave what their actual base for an argument is behind. They get triggered, you know what I mean, in a certain way. And what I mean is that's not going to happen to me. That's not going to happen. I'm not trying to attack, but I think I will come at this from an angle that I've never seen anybody approach Jeremy with this particular angle, and I've never seen anybody levy the complaints that I have in the way that I'm going to levy them. And I'm interested to see what he has to say. You know, John said that he thought the stream could get ugly, right? And I think the truth is everybody knows the stream could get ugly. That's why it's so exciting. That's why we want to go, right? I don't think that Jeremy wants it to get ugly. I know that I don't want it to get ugly. Which, by the way, Jeremy, if you're still in here, I'm rooting for Alabama on Saturday because I definitely don't want you to be down about the Alabama loss when we chat. So I'll root for Bama on Saturday. But I don't think anybody wants the stream to get ugly. But I feel like this is a freaking situation that has a lot of passion, a lot of, like when I heard John talking yesterday about how, you know, the Fandom Menace has been attacked and all these things. And like, dude, you feel it. Like, I feel it. He's being real. Like they feel attacked and therefore maybe justified some attack backs. You know what I mean? I get that. And I get where that can sort of put you as a person or as a brand or whatever. But we don't move forward unless we have these kind of conversations. I think that there will be people probably walking away from the stream Saturday saying, you know, wow, I never really listened to Jeremy talk like that. Maybe there'll be people that say, I've never really heard Josh talk like that. Hopefully we're not just screaming at each other. I don't think we will. But I feel very strongly about the criticisms that I want to levy. And I know that Jeremy feels very strongly about his issues with Disney and where we go from there. So as far as a response to the criticisms, and like I said, John, I really do appreciate you. This feels like a conversation to me. And by the way, let me just say this. I will sit down and talk to any one of you people. Anybody that's got a YouTube channel, a platform, or anything, like if you go make a YouTube channel today, if people like literally did that, like I can't, you know, get down with that. But if you have a platform, if you have something, I want to talk to you. This includes John. This includes everybody. But I think to be fair to Ryan, and to be fair to Jeremy, and to be fair to really mostly the fans on Twitter that really wanted, they wanted this to happen, me and Jeremy to speak. I think it's fair to do that first. And so, like I said, there's some of the stuff that I'm talking about that I'm holding back. Like I'm holding back because, you know, believe it or not, like we gotta save some goods, for the stream on Saturday. I mean, isn't this entertaining? Isn't this what we're doing? This is what we're doing. What are we doing? We're going to do something, I tell you that. We're going to do something pretty electric, I feel. But, again, not to be destructive. My goal is to build. Are you not entertained? Yeah, so I think we'll handle it. And again, sorry that I can't go through everything John said. I just can't do that, man. I don't know. I just can't do it. But now I will address some questions. You know what I mean? So feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I'll address a few things. I'll probably go for like 20 minutes. And then I'll get out of here. Ooh, Colton. Where is the Wayward Jedi? Colton and I have been emailing a little bit. Yeah, I don't know how much I want to talk about that, to be honest. That's a whole nother thing. Oh, my God. Grobnob the Troll. That's not getting through the YouTube thing, but like whatever, man. We can figure it out. Is Soggy Waffle a Jedi? I don't know who Soggy Waffle is, so I don't know. Gray order equals fence sitting, avoiding the issues. Look, Mason, you got to show up on Saturday, man. Like I said, it's like I want to get into some of this stuff. I really do. But I feel like as though I owe it to Ryan. It's Ryan's house. He set this stream up. I can't. There's going to be a lot of valuable discussion had on Saturday. That's all I'm saying. But, you know, this idea of fence sitting and this idea that like I'm definitely not a fence sitter. I feel very strongly about the way that I feel and the things that I want to and things that I want to do. Jeremy says he's looking forward to it. It'll be, wait, what did he say? Looking forward to Saturday, Josh. It'll be fun and respectful. For sure, brother. And you know what? Honestly, I'm rooting for Bama, man. And by the way, too, not to, maybe I shouldn't even say this, but like what's up with, never mind. I did, if I come in an hour into the stream, I just think, like, is Jeremy going to mentally a little exhausted or whatever? I don't know. Maybe that's not a comment I should make, but this, by the way, and look, there's a lot of things that I agree with Jeremy about. One of the things that I sort of agreed with him about is he talked about how Collider had pretty much ignored what was actually going on in the fan base. I think to a degree that's fair. It's hard to say how much people actually have a proper metric for what's going on out there. And like, to be totally fair, Jeremy doesn't sleep. He'll be fine. I'll be fine. Okay, cool. To be fair to them and to be fair to everybody, it's like, look, there's a lot of misrepresentation that happens online. There's a lot of that stuff that happens. But I do agree that these conversations should have happened a lot sooner. But I don't I just don't think we get anywhere by like, you blame you, I blame you, I blame you, I blame you. I just don't think we, yeah, Jacob's Quest says the Fandom Menace and Disney supporters can coexist without conflict. Yeah, I absolutely believe that. Josh, will you be on Collider again? I enjoyed your guest appearance. Yes, I will be on before the end of the year. Fernandez is a cool dude, man. We've been texting a little bit about some things. He's a cool guy. So hit me with some questions, guys. Let's go. I'll go with like 20 more minutes. I know everybody's got a lot of questions. Josh, how would you describe the Gray Order in 30 seconds? Is a positive focused fan group that's not afraid to be critical. That was pretty quick, huh? It's almost like we thought about that. Do you believe Kennedy's "The Force is Female" movement isn't social agenda? Final Death Star, that is such a good question that I cannot fully answer until Saturday. I think anybody see, here's the thing. There's a lot of people that have no idea really who I am. They don't necessarily get the full context of what I'm talking about, what I mention. As I tried to just say, I'm not one of these people that completely denies the things that Jeremy is talking about. I think where our disagreement will lie is in what do you do about that if you want it to change? And that's all I want to say. We got to save the juice for Saturday, okay? I think what everybody wants is a good story. Can you agree with that? Doesn't the lead's gender, faith, or sexuality... I think what everyone wants is just a good story. Can you agree with that? Doesn't the lead's gender, faith, or sexuality... just make a good story. Rogue One did that. This trilogy has not. Again, there's something to that, and I want to dig in on that. I want to dig on in. But I just don't think now is the time. Like I said, I really want to save these conversations for Saturday. Let's see here. Muffred comes in and says, we all should be responsible and respectful, period. Totally agree with that. We can't always do it. You know what I mean? Like, people are human, right? Like, that's the thing. Like, the thing that I try to preach is, like, we have to try not to offend, but we also have to try to not be offended. I don't know how many people are actually practicing that. Let's see here. Jay Chimpansky says, I heard the Gray Order likes sand. Is that true? I love it. Yeah, no, I totally love sand, man. I love it. You ever that 40-year-old virgin thing where he compares the boobies to like bags of sand? That's all I can think of when people do that. I know it's like the Anakin thing, but that's what I get stuck on. Yeah, like we love sand. Rebel Scum Podcast is in here. Let's see here. Ben Solo says, Josh, will you be doing a live stream for The Mandalorian when it premieres on the 12th? Absolutely. We're doing after shows every episode of The Mandalorian, except maybe one, because I'm actually going to be in Orlando. I'm going to be going to Galaxy's Edge late That'll be. I might be flying. Yeah. So there's some Mandalorians we might not do an after show for, but there's plenty of them that we will be doing. And by the way, I got some like really really cool stuff to talk to you guys when it comes to the Mandalorian stuff. I can't quite mention yet, but some really cool sponsors. Let's see here. And I think Disney actually helped rejuvenate Star Wars a lot from where it was in 2012. Can we just agree to disagree? Look, like I said, we're in the living room. Mommy and daddy and the kids are in the living room. The next few things we talk about are going to be uncomfortable. This isn't what I want to be doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, to just be real with you guys, I'd be making way more money today if I just focused on a smaller video that was like something Marvel. Just being real. That's what it is. But I felt like it was important to address this thing and try to address it in a respectful way. Also too, I don't know if you're still watching, John, but I caught you slipping, man. I know you think I'm funny. You laughed at a couple of jokes. I gotta be real. I saw it. You might be mad. You might not like it, but I think we would get along. Let's see here. If you want people with different opinions that aren't afraid to yell and all be friends, I recommend checking out the Council in Exile. Interesting. Okay, I can check that out. Cool. Feel free to vehemently disagree with what I just said, John. If you do disagree with it, is there an ending that can appease every type of Star Wars fan in The Rise of Skywalker? I don't think so. I think Battlefront 2 is the best way to unite the fans. It's much better now. Ooh, I don't know about that. I do agree that it's much better now, but I don't think that's what's... This is what I said on Collider. This is what I believe. The only thing that can put the Star Wars fan base back together is Star Wars fans. We cannot expect a piece of content from Star Wars to just solve all the problems. I feel like that sort of belittles what the problems actually are. Now, will there be stuff that comes out in Star Wars that will be more universally accepted? For sure. I think the Mandalorian is going to be pretty widely accepted. I think most people are very excited about the Mandalorian. But it's not going to save Star Wars. It's not going to put the fan base back together again. And again, not to give stuff away for Saturday, but that is really where my energy is going.
Battlefront 2 is too many hackers, too.
Yeah. That's a good point. Justin just told me it's got way too many hackers. It can't put the fan base back together again. It's too hacky. But you know what would be really cool? What if we did this? Like, Fandom Menace guys, let me know. Do you guys have Battlefront 2? Because we could get the Grey Order and the Fandom Menace to play against each other in Battlefront 2, and I don't know, one of us would have to wear something silly. Oh my God, Jeremy, the YouTube thing caught that. I'm gonna not. Yeah, maybe there's a better way to say that. Yeah, hit me with some questions, guys. This is such an interesting stream. I did not expect so many people to jump in, but yeah, probably go for like 10 more minutes. Okay. I guess what I'm trying to get to is, like, I see what's happening, and I just don't know how else I can say it. We are not in opposition to the Fandom Menace. I think there's going to be a lot of interesting dialogue on Saturday. I think we're all going to walk away from that, hopefully, in a better headspace about it. But I see all this, like, tension and things like that, and it's like, feel free to air out some of those grievances. I'm an open book, guys. Hey, man, would you want to come on the Council of Exile stream? Absolutely. Look, as I said, well, maybe I didn't make this clear. I will go on any show and any stream and talk to as many people as they want about the Grey Order, about my opinions of fandom, about my opinions on the culture war, whatever. I'm an open book. And what I've decided is I want to give as much access as I humanly can to as many people that are willing to talk about this, no matter where they stand on the issue. No matter where they stand on the issue, I want to make myself available to talk to as many of you as possible about these things, because I think that's kind of the way we put it all back together. Now, as I said, to be fair, none of that can happen until after Saturday. Saturday that's we got to wait for Saturday. And then after that, hopefully, like, boom, like everywhere. Like, I'll open up my ledger. I'll try to clear as much space as I can. Might be a zombie on some of those streams, but look, I'll sit down like anybody. Ray is Mike Zero's daughter. I agree. But why hasn't Mike talked about that, Scoop? Larry Tinsel says, imagine being Ben Solo. First, your uncle tries to murder you in your sleep, then yeah, I know what you meant. It's cock blocks you for trying to get Ray's force cake. You know, I think you've sent that super chat in maybe every single stream I've ever done. I feel like that is something you are always talking about, Larry Tinsel. But yeah, look, imagine being Ben Solo. You feel like be pretty angry. Feel pretty angry. That one I can let go, John. That one I can show. Does the Fandom Menace sniff glue? I don't know. I can't speak for the Fandom Menace. I don't think they do. But then again, who is the Always Sunny guys? Didn't they sniff glue? Mac and thing? Yeah. And they're awesome. Mac and Charlie sniff glue. And they're cool. So I don't even see what you're saying. Shit, maybe I sniff glue.
They had the foresight to put Danny DeVito on their show.
Yeah, they did. They did. I used to absolutely hate The Last Jedi on rewatching. I found a lot of different things to love. It's not great, but there are great things in it. Yeah, there totally are great things in it. There totally are great things in it. And by the way, Jeremy, if you're still in here, I have a question for you that is going to blow your mind, or at least I hope it blows your mind, because it's not something you're going to see coming, and it's something I've been very curious about you since you mentioned it in a video a long time ago. Yeah, and this is Ryan, guys. That's Ryan Kinnell right there. That's the channel we're going to be on. Stream starts at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll be on at 10. Internet Sato said, well, I'm not going to read what he says, but he's like really bored of this. He doesn't like this drama. He just wants the nerdy news. That's the thing. Like, guys, you got to understand that, like, look, from a cost benefit analysis, as someone who fancies himself a business person, I'm not saying I'm the best, but we definitely did a cost benefit analysis for this. This is not what I want to be doing right now. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't the conversations that I want to be doing. And, you know, like John had a point. He was like, like he said in his stream last night, like, let it be. Like, let sleeping dogs lie is what my old man used to say. And dude, I get you. We're in a situation right now where we need to work some of this out. So I don't want to be doing this. I'd much rather just be shilling for the MCU like I do, because I love the MCU. But I feel like this is important. Because, like, I love Star Wars is really what it comes down to. I love Star Wars, and it's like breaking my heart what I see going on out there on the internet. What will change after the stream on Saturday? Dude, we can't answer that. We have no idea. We have no idea. Fashion. Let's see here. Aaron Quinton says, is it a bad sign? Is it a bad sign and rather telling that Pablo Hidalgo dusted all his Twitter followers and locked his account down right before the release of look, I don't want to, maybe this is something we could talk about with those guys or something, but like that. But I just really, you know, if you've been following the channel, you know, I have a bad feeling about the Rise of Skywalker. And I try not to even say that, because I know certain people they don't like it when I say that. They're like, why can't you just be excited and be happy? Like, I got to be me. I got to be real. I feel I'm very concerned about how this movie will be perceived by people. But again, this idea that any one movie or any one piece of content is going to solve the problem that we have, that's not true. That's not how this works. And I think that we could all maybe admit that what is going on right now with social media is sort of unprecedented. We are at a place right now where communication is changing maybe faster than we are able to adapt to the ways that it is changing. There's a lot of blame to be placed not on individuals, but on social media services, algorithms, and stuff like that. But that isn't as much of a deal as what do we do about it? What are we going to do about it? So that's kind of where I'm at with it. But guys, I am going to get out of here. I appreciate everybody that came to check this stream out. I appreciate you if you're watching on the live stream. I simply wanted to respond to John's video and some of the criticism, which I do think was fair in some ways and maybe incomplete and unfair in other ways. But that's what it is. It's a conversation, right? So I'm very happy to do that. Thank you all for checking it out. Your regularly scheduled programming will be back very soon. Don't worry. We're going to get back to shilling for the MCU as soon as I possibly can. I'm going to call it there. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next video.